Hey Siri, call Jenna.
Hey friends, ambitious souls, welcome to Sorta Ambitious, the podcast where two moms navigate the chaotic yet beautiful journey of motherhood and entrepreneurship.
I'm Shannon.
And I'm Jenna.
And together we're your dynamic duo diving into the real, unfiltered tales of balancing diapers and deadlines.
Whether you're juggling nap time, creating content, swapping parenting hacks, business tips, Sorta Ambitious is your go-to space for all things mom life and entrepreneurship.
We're not claiming to have it all figured out, but we're here to share our stories, passions, and the occasional chaos that comes with running a business and a household.
Expect candid conversations about the struggles, triumphs, and the messy middle ground where ambition meets mom life.
And hey, if you're a mompreneur or someone trying to navigate this crazy world, you're in good company with us. We've got your back.
So buckle up, grab your coffee or wine, no judgment here, and join us every week as we embark on this sorta ambitious journey together. Because let's face it, life gets a bit messy, it's a lot ambitious, and completely worth it. Hey, hi Shannon.
Hey Jenna.
How's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Where are we chatting from today? I feel like that's an ongoing theme with us. We're always in a different place.
Back at home. Back in my bathroom.
Back at home. In your bathroom, is that what you said?
Yeah.
I love it. I'm currently in my dad's trailer, so I live like 10 steps away, but this is like the quiet space that I can be in to like set everything up and record. So here we are. We're back.
Today we're going to be diving in a little bit to our first steps, our toes dabbling into entrepreneurship and kind of each of our own individual journeys with it, as well as like what we experienced in those early parts of our journey. But
yeah,
we wanted to start our every podcast off with our high and a high. We're going to switch it up from past seasons. We're going to stay on the positive train, and we're going to do one business high and one motherhood high. And just if the negatives, if the lows come up, they come up. But we're going to focus on positive train. So Jenna, break me down one of your highs.
Okay, so I think just like business high is that like we are here, me and you, we're back. We're really working on our social medias and like growing those accounts and just getting more of a following, more of an interest. And so that feels really exciting to me.
Absolutely.
So yeah, business high is just that like I feel like we are in it again. We're diving in and we're just getting things like rolling. And then yeah, what's your business high?
My business high is having some community interest. I will dive a little bit more into what I'm doing and like what my actual product is, but community interest in my product has been shown recently. I've been getting comments, I've been getting messages, which has been so exciting and like a big push for me, especially when I'm having some what word do I want to imposter syndrome. When I'm having some imposter syndrome, to actually have interest from other people is just, it makes it like you get that reignition of your fire, being like, oh yeah, there is a reason that I'm doing all this, and there actually are people that are interested in it. So
I think that's so exciting, and I feel like I've seen it too on your accounts, like just as a friend that also watches everything that you do. It's exciting for me too to see that, and then I'm like on there liking their comments and like cheer, woohoo, sending them little like hype.
You got it.
And it seems so silly, but like it is a factor. You want people to like be interested, and you want people to react, not just watch. Like whether it's good or bad, like I think it goes both ways. You want that interest so that you can continue to like grow as a business and do what you need to do to like continue that growth.
Absolutely.
So very excited for you, friend. I have seen it myself. And then mom highs. So my mom high is that we're potty training and we're on day like 4, like full day. We're on day 4. We've had several accidents, but we have been successful with the potty.
Yay.
And I'm so excited. I feel like I honestly have like Khalil to thank a little, because Cohen is so obsessed with all of his friends that we just spent time in Texas with, Khalil being one of them. And I mean, Khalil he was so on it, telling mom and dad when he had to go potty, even at the pool, like at the pool, running around. Like, I was just so excited to see that. And so I think Cohen was too. He was like definitely intrigued, and like we talked about it a little bit more on the way home, and like tried to get him more excited. And so, yeah, we got him a little potty today. And as of today, having it in the house, like he has the seat he can climb up on our toilet, but I do think it's not the most comfortable position for him. So we got him the little one, and we were like, you can use whichever one you want. And within like 20 minutes of having it, he used it twice. And
Yay.
I'm so excited. I'm just so excited that feels like a mom win. So,
oh my gosh, 1,000%. Anyone that's ever been through potty training knows the journey that potty training is. So like, know that all moms right now are giving you a pat on the back because you're doing it. You're crushing it.
I really, when we started at the apartment, because we did it a while ago, and then I was like, oh no, this is just not the time. Like, we're just not ready for this. And so then this time just feels so much more like natural. And he just has been running around naked for 2 days. And like I said, comes with all the messes and all the accidents, but it does feel like really good to be trying. And he is so much more like interested than he was when we tried a while ago. So mom win potty training.
Mom tip just completely out of the blue. But if anyone has a child of that age that you're trying to start potty training and they're just like not getting it and you're getting frustrated, like take a break. Just take a break, come back. You'll thank yourself. Your future self will thank you of just like trying again later, because it's just not worth the stress.
Oh, so. Yeah, no. And I'm so grateful too. Kyle's been home. So like, we just were like, we need to do this. We need to like hone in. We're both here. Let's let him run around naked. We're going to both be like, do you have to go potty? Do you have to go potty? What do you like? Just really be on top of it. Yeah. And I'd say the first day was kind of confusing. He was like, not really getting it. Day 2, he was like a little more excited, but he was getting really frustrated because I think he was really trying to like figure it out. And so Kyle and I both were like, deep breaths, mom and dad, like we can do this. So, like, do we put a diaper on him? Do we just put a diaper on him? Like, no, like let him be naked. We can do this. We got it.
Yeah.
And so mom wins.
Amazing.
Again, potty training.
I love that. Exciting. We can do it. Let's do a whole podcast on potty training, because I feel like that conversation of motherhood is crazy. My mom win was I was away on a trip for 5 days, and anyone that's a mom knows the difficulty of going away. You just always feel like you're out of your routine, and it's just I'm the worst type of people pleaser, so I feel like I'm burdening my husband by like having him parent, and he hates that quality of me. But I feel like going out of town just feels like it's such a thing for me. But my mom high is coming home after being away from your child is just like the most comfort I feel like anyone can ever feel. It's like drinking soup when you're sick. It's like getting a hug from your mom. Well, it is getting a hug from your mom, but like, it's just the best feeling to come home to your kid and like them be like, you are my person. I've missed you. I mean, my husband gets it every single day he comes home from work. And I think I just, I'm with him all day long. So I don't get those like, oh my God, mom. And so when I come home from a trip, it was just the best feeling. And we jumped right back into our routine. And yeah, I love that. That's my mom high.
I love that. I completely agree. I'm like, I totally feel that too. I even feel like now that Kyle is home, I told him, I'm like, what's he gonna do when you go back to work? He's literally gonna be so sad that it's like just me and him. I hope he's still excited to hang out with me, because it's just, he's so used to having dad home, and like our routine has for sure significantly changed. And I'm like, oh man, I hope you're just as excited to hang out with me.
He will be.
Okay, well, let's dive in. So we keep talking about how we're like in this space of entrepreneurship and like learning new things in digital marketing and digital products. And so Shannon, what and when did you get started? Like, what got you excited, or what got you started, and what got you excited in the beginning?
So what got me started was my sister actually reaching out to me saying she was going to be starting on this digital journey of her own. She had purchased I think a 12-week or 14-week course, poured some good money into it. And she was like, one, I know that you have always wanted to do something like this. And two, I've put the money in. So like, I'll just send you the stuff and you can get it like and do it along with me without having to pay for it. And I was like, ka-ching, because I'm not one to spend money like that. But really what got me into it, to be perfectly honest, is I have been someone who my passion from what I can remember has always just been, I want to help people. And it's been throughout the years of my life not knowing how to do that in a way that works for me. Going into college, I originally wanted to be in physical therapy because I thought that's how I was going to be able to help the most amount of people without being a doctor. I didn't want to be a doctor. Then I learned, that's not my journey for multiple reasons. That can probably be a different podcast. And then I was like, I want to be a personal trainer. Then I learned with our lifestyle, picking up and moving at the moment's notice doesn't mean that I can have like a clientele to keep that as a career. And so that in tandem with always wanting to start my own YouTube channel and wanting to like be able to do stuff where I could do it at my own pace and just be who I want to be and like not fit a mold of whatever company or organization is telling me how to do it. All those things came together at the very beginning of summer of 2023 with my sister calling me and being like, I know you've wanted to do this. I have poured in the money. So like, just take the courses along with me. And we also really had each other as accountability buddies through the whole process, which was also huge. And I felt like it was just a culmination of all the right things happening at the right time that I was like, okay, this is the moment to start it. And yeah. When did you start that? And what started you?
I was going to say, I just love Mariah. Shout out to Mariah. She's like my favorite. And I think she just brings such like beautiful value to her stuff that she's doing. And so I can't wait to have her on our podcast and talk all about it.
Yes.
Shout out to Shannon's sister.
She's the perfect human.
And she is really the perfect human and mom and mompreneur. And I'm really excited to talk to her. So stay tuned for that, you guys. But I feel like I started a long time ago in the sense of like Shannon and I have talked about wanting to do something like this, but we weren't really sure what to do. Like we have, Shannon's always talked about having a blog, and like I just have brought up digital. I don't want to say digital marketing because that's not really what I was thinking. It was like just ways to make money online was what I was looking into since being in college, because I did have a job through college, but like I have always looked this stuff up, Googled like, how do I make money at home, And so I feel like I got some information back then, but I wasn't in a space to like sit down and actually learn that space. And so I constantly was like doubting it and like thinking it was a scam and thinking it wasn't real, and kind of like getting myself to a place of purchase in a lot of different spaces and then being like, oh, I can't do it. And just completely backing out. And so like I have honestly like messages even with my friend Lily and with my sister previous to like even knowing Shannon about like, oh, this would be so cool if this was what we were able to do, and still just never understanding what that meant. And so I feel like my first parts of the journey is that. And then where I am now is that my wax girl, my wax woman, Melissa, shout out Down Under Wax in Bend, or her podcast, Down Under Dirt. It's amazing. She kind of like just put it in my head that I could do this, that I could be someone that could be successful in this. And I think that was really the only push I needed. I didn't really know what to expect. She basically, I'm laying on her table getting my wax done. She's like, Jenna, have you ever thought about like digital marketing or digital products or trying to like make money online? And I was like, actually I have. Why do you ask? And it just kind of felt like it came out of a really genuine place in her heart to tell me that she thought I could do it. And so I was so much more intrigued to like actually dive in And so she sent me the $7 course that was a 15-day challenge, and I kind of just like dove in. It was October, I'd say, when I finally purchased it. Starting to get cold, starting to get snowy. I didn't really like look at it until December because I just had like photo shoots I was doing, and just other things that I was excited about. Halloween with my son, he was much more excited about it this year. So just like the priority was there in my head, but I was like, I just don't have time to sit down yet and do it. And when I did, I was like, why didn't I do this earlier? So
Yeah.
I feel like my excitement is really just Melissa had faith in me, and she told me, I think you could figure this out. And I'm also trying to figure it out. So let's try and figure it out together. So super fun space. And then I'm talking to Shannon sort of about this, and she was already there. She was already doing a similar thing, and like that made it even more exciting that my best friend was also doing it, and I feel like we have something to talk about. And so it kind of completely shifted our podcast and our motivation for this space and what we want that to be in the future. And yeah, that's my start. I'm
Yeah.
and just going through it.
I feel like everyone has different whys, you could say, but if for you, Jenna, what do you feel like is your motivation or your why? And like, what are you looking forward to in the future for what you're currently, or whatever step you're currently at? And what was like your why in the very beginning, and has those changed in the last couple months?
I'd say my why is like that I want to be able to contribute financially to my family. I have always had a job up until I had my son. Apart from like being in college, I did have like part-time jobs, but like I just haven't worked. And that was a conversation my husband and I had multiple times. Like when I was in college, like, no, don't work, just focus on school. And then coming out of college, like, well, do you want to work when we have a kid? And being like, I was like, yeah, I do. I want to contribute financially. Like that was important to me, feeling like I did have my own money and security somehow, even though like Kyle's literally taken care of me since I was 18 years old. You guys, like there is no I don't feel bad that he does it. I just also want to help. So like I know he's capable and able and wants to take care of me, and I'm so grateful that I have a husband that wants to do that. But I just want my own money. I just want my own money that feels like it can be ours and I'm contributing to something. And so my core motivation is like he works so freaking hard, and I just kind of feel like we're financially in a stuck space where like there's so much room to grow, and we both have so much potential if I'm able to like put the effort in to it. And so yeah, I say my core motivation is just being able to financially contribute to my family and our future plans.
Yeah.
Because
which I feel like so many
me.
people can relate to, because I mean, not everyone has the exact same situation as you know, whether it's spousal support or whatever, but I feel like so many people can relate to the fact that they just want to feel financially independent.
Yeah.
And also like financially comfortable. I personally I've never been someone that's like, I want to be a millionaire. I want to have the biggest house, the best car, but like I want to be comfortable. I don't want to sit here and like, you know, count grocery amounts or, you know, potentially not do X, Y, and Z just because of a dollar amount that is attached to it, especially when it comes to like memories or things that could truly benefit like myself or my family or friends or whatever. And I think so many of us, I mean, I feel like we're in a day and age, right? I would say that like so many people are like, why can't we have it all? Why can't we have,
why
you know,
can't we
the
have
happiness, the fun, and like a lot of it comes down to money, I feel like, is why a lot of people are stuck in so many places.
And I think too, like becoming moms, it gave I can't hear you. Did I lose you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, there you are. You cut out, so I wasn't sure if you were still talking or it was like frozen on my end. I think too, just becoming moms, like I just want to help my kids as much as I possibly can in a way that is like, obviously they learn that it's hard to like grow up and kind of learn those skills to like save money and make money and, you know, all the contributing factors to that. But like, I do feel like there's a way of doing it that can be beneficial for everyone. And that's what I want. I just like, I could, this will probably go into my money understanding space, but, my first day of my challenge was basically like having you understand your relationship with money. And that felt kind of like a gut punch because I was just like, gosh, I know that I have a terrible relationship with money. Not in the sense that like I just am always in debt and spending a ton of stuff, but like when it comes to buying things or like putting my money where it feels important to me, I 100% feel guilty instantly. Like to like buy a new outfit feels like, oh, I don't really need it that much, you know, and I contemplate and then I do buy it and then I have the money remorse, like whatever, or money guilt, like it's so real. And that first day of the course, like I can't even say like I was just emotional and cried the whole time because you guys know that is who I am. So that's what happened. And I just like was trying to take notes, but I was just like, damn, this is so true to like my core of my relationship with money. And honestly, I think that was the first 2 days was going through that journey, kind of like answering survey. Oh no. Are you still there? Okay. I can't see you. You disappeared. You guys, Shane and I are always on iffy Wi-Fi. We never know if we're actually going to make it through
this is working.
But yeah, I think just like having that first initial understanding that it is a me problem, my like money issue is in my head, and kind of changing that mindset has felt really good. Like it just has felt like that was what the first step needed to be, even though I didn't know that was what the first step needed to be.
Yeah, mine was very, very similar. Like there was,
what was your
the speaker talking a lot about money and like what does feel like a boundary for you and what does feel like a limiting factor. And then mine was a little bit more like woohoo, I don't know what word to use, like a little bit more, she came from a little bit more of a spiritual place, so she had us really like dive into our body and how did that feel in your body, like where are you feeling frustration or where are you feeling like stuck or whatever.
Oh, I like that.
And I was someone to like really feel it in like my throat. I just felt like talking about money felt like something that I was like just not comfortable with and didn't feel like, or I guess I shouldn't say talking about money because I'm actually pretty open with money and I'm not someone to like shy away from it, but more so like talking about having like an abundance with money in my life. I just don't feel comfortable talking about that, or I didn't. And I was much more comfortable talking about like frugalness and like modesty when it came to money. And that's like fine. And that's a type of like mindset that you can have at certain times of your life, but you can also really just give yourself the freedom to be like, oh, I can have more. I'm deserving of more. And I don't need to be limited to just like what it takes to survive or to get by or to be okay. Yes. And I'm also someone very much like what you said, Jenna. I'm very much someone that like, I just take what I need. I just do the bare minimum. I've never been someone to spend money on myself. And I really had to sit down and evaluate why that is, because no one in my life has ever outright said like, do not treat yourself or do not go do X, Y, Z. But there's, you know, I think I'm still continually trying to figure that out. But like, what makes me feel limited and what makes me say like, oh no, I can't get my hair done, or no, I shouldn't buy, you know, new pants or whatever. And the homework of my first day was building, she called it a dream life Pinterest board. So like going to Pinterest, an area, you know, where you see the plethora of everything, you know, people post everything, and building what you want your dream life to be. And I've done this activity before. I've like written what I want my perfect day to look like, and I've written what like my perfect scenario would look like. But building this like dream life Pinterest board, I was seeing with my own eyes, and like I wasn't looking for pins or photos or whatever that looks like something I could achieve. I was literally just pinning things that I'm like, this is what I want, regardless of if I can see myself in that scenario right now. This is what I want. And building that Pinterest board, or that a lot of, you know, mood boards, like people do it all the time. Building that made it so that I kind of took away the aspect of like, well, what if? What could this be? Could this be anything? And I was putting out there what life could look like. And
I love that.
I wasn't attaching it to like my worth right now, but just like, this is what I want my life to be. And, you know, then, you know, the courses to follow would be, what can I do to get there? But like right now, this is what I want for my future, regardless of like what it costs, either with money or like effort or whatever. This is what I want my life to look like.
I love that. I know I just said yes, amen the whole time, but I do feel like the last time I like made a vision board was probably like almost 3 years ago when I moved here, and like after I'd had Cohen, I went to that like New Year party. It wasn't, I don't want to say it was a party because it really wasn't. It was more of like learning mindfulness, kind of burning like the past away, writing things about yourself that you either don't like or that you want to change, and like, you know, burning the things and like bringing in that new light for the new year. And I was planning my wedding, so like that was a big, obviously, part of my vision board. But when I look back at it now, because I've kept that piece of construction paper this whole time and like just continued to move it around my house, like looking back at it now, it is so beautiful to see the things that have come to fruition on that, and like the things I was excited about 2 years ago, and like checking them off my list, and just being like, sometimes you do just need to see it, like visually see it in front of you, even if it's not tangible yet and it's not there in your reality space, like knowing that that is a possibility if that is something that you want. Because I do feel like we limit ourselves, especially once we're, I don't know, I don't want to say the word settled down. I hate that word. Or those words.
But I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like when you are in a space where like you're in a relationship, you have now gotten married, you have kids, like you're in that settled down space, it can feel like your routine and your comfortability is just kind of where you're at and where you have to be. And that's just like not true. Like you can change your reality at any moment. And if there's something that excites you, then like why would you not? Why would you not put in the efforts to like see where that could push you as a person and like the growth that can come out of that? I can't.
And
see
I
you
feel
on
like
our,
something that dawned
thing,
on
so
me,
I feel like
and maybe speaking to other moms out there, I tried to look at myself honestly as my toddler, and because there's definitely not only moments in that early phases, but like still to this day, moments of imposter syndrome and moments of like, one, I don't know why I'm doing this, and two, I don't know if I can do this. But I tried to look at myself as my toddler, and like we all know toddlers have phases, right? They're like obsessed with dinosaurs like Jenna's son, or they're obsessed with cars like my son, or they love this specific like doll or this specific blanket or whatever it may be, and they dive like headfirst into that phase, and they you know, that's their entire being. And some kids, that will be a piece of them and like their being for forever. Who knows? Cohen could grow up to be, you know, an archaeologist and like love dinosaurs for his entire life. And as a parent or like any, you know, adult in their life, we will never like dampen them for that. We will never be like, oh my gosh, no, like that's not realistic. You're not going to become an astronaut. You're not going to become the president, whatever. We like love them for that. And we like, you know, we feed into that, and we're like, yes, go for it. And then also like their passions, their phases, their like obsessions, they change. You know, they could jump from dinosaurs and he could do a 180, or my son could do a 180 and be obsessed with like trees or whatever. You know, the world is their oyster. And I started to look at myself the exact same way. Like,
Absolutely.
if I'm going to be really passionate about something, even who knows if this is for a year, like, why not dive head in? And why not just like give it my all and tell everyone around me that like, this is what I'm into, this is what I'm about, and like support me in it. And
it's exciting. It's
and just lean into that space. Because you'll never know unless you try. And also there's no harm in trying. You're not going to get behind by trying something. You're always going to get further in life by just like doing what interests you and leaning into like that excitement in your life.
Yeah. And I feel like we kind of had this conversation when we were first talking about it, you know, like how to talk about it with people. how do we like say this is what I'm doing, but I don't really understand what I'm doing, but I'm learning and I'm trying to figure it out. Like, and then once we were having that conversation, we were like, oh, this is how we do it.
Yeah.
we just talk about what we're passionate about right now and our excitement in it and why we're excited about it. And I feel like that creates that genuine conversation with a stranger that like they just ask what you're doing. And for me, I feel like it's given me a space of like, yes, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and that feels like the first thing that vomits out of my mouth because I love that. I'm happy that that's what I get to be doing. But then like, oh, is you like, do you work, or is there any, like, I feel like that's where the weird kind of questions come back where you're like don't really know how to respond, or you start to like get nervous like, well, I mean, no, truthfully, I don't make any other money unless I do photos, but that's a different story. So like, I just feel like it gave us a space where we felt like we could talk about it in a way that we're proud of and that we're excited about, and that we can see the growth that is going to come out of all of it. And that is, like I said, it's just really exciting. It's motivating. And we kind of just hope that that's what this space becomes for us and for our listeners. And we hope that what we're learning and what we share, you can also apply and hopefully do great things with too.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like, I mean, if you are someone that has ever been even slightly interested in starting your own personal brand or your own digital material, or even opening your own freaking shop, whatever, our suggestion, I guess, would be a really great place to start would be to start with that money conversation with yourself. And
100%.
Thinking about what you want your future to look like. What do you feel like is currently holding you back? And also knowing, this is an age-old saying, but I feel like it's true. You sometimes have to spend money to make money, and spending money on yourself, whether that be with clothes, hair, whether that be with courses to educate yourself or further yourself, that will never be money that is poorly spent. And
absolutely.
As long as you have the faith and belief that you are going to do something with it, you should never regret any money that you have spent on yourself. And I guess I want to put a caveat on that. Like, obviously there's limits, and obviously like don't go into crazy debt. But I think we all know that, right? Like, that's like obvious. But
I was going to say, I feel like if we leave our listeners with some homework, that creating your own Pinterest board, your own vision board, your own mood board for your life and what you want that to look like, if that sounds like something fun, then we encourage you to do it. And if you do it, then let us know, because I feel like that's my own homework now because I haven't made one since my wedding. And so,
hashtag Sorta Ambitious board, and let's be sorta ambitious, and let's look into the future, whether you want to make a board for 2024 or you want to just make a board for your future dream life. We would love to see it. We'll do it ourselves and we'll share.
Yes, I'm excited. That sounds so fun to me.
I love it. And for our future podcast, we will be diving into more of what these courses, these programs that we personally went to will look like, and what we did and where we're at. And we'll also have podcasts that will be like focused primarily on just the motherhood side of life, because as we have both probably made very, very clear. We hold like our parenting to a very high standard for ourselves, and that's a huge part of who we are. So we'll discuss solely just like motherhood life as well as entrepreneur life.
And we have so many fun guests, I feel like, lined up in my head. We should probably ask them all.
We probably should schedule something.
We should probably get them on the schedule. But like, I have so many people in mind that I just want to sit down and like hear kind of their beginning and their middle and their future plans. That has just been inspiring to me. I feel like I have so many friends that have small businesses and that have created a really beautiful space with something that they're passionate about. And that's what this is. That's what we're hoping this podcast is this season, is all the things that are getting us excited about creating the life that we want for our families. Realistically, that's what it is.
So our homework to you is create a dream life vision board on Pinterest, on paper, whatever. And my last little tidbit to leave with you is whatever you see potential like direction for you, remember that you do not have to be an expert in it. You do not have to have a PhD in it, but you do definitely know something more advanced than the average Joe. And whatever that area is, you know something more than your neighbor. And so whatever you have to say, whatever you have to teach is valuable, even if you do not have, a PhD in it. So just remember that.
Yeah, I agree. Thanks for listening, you guys. And tune in next week because we're in it. We're rocking and rolling with our podcast. We're so excited that you're here.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of Sorta Ambitious. Thanks for joining us on this roller coaster of momhood and entrepreneurship. Remember, life gets hectic, and we can't promise to drop an episode every week, but we will certainly try our best. Your understanding means the world to us. If you want more behind-the-scenes action, connect with us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, where we're sharing laughs, struggles, and the occasional dance party, because why not? And if you enjoyed our chat today, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We've got some incredible guests and topics lined up for this year, and we won't want you to miss out. Your support keeps us going, so make sure to spread the love. Share this podcast with your fellow mompreneurs, friends, or anyone who could use a good dose of ambition and reality. Until next time, stay sorta ambitious and remember you're doing an amazing job.